Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Erik Voss, and the 2025 Superman film released its first look of David Corenswet in the Superman suit for the first time, pulling on his boots as he looks like he's bracing for, or perhaps in the midst of, a battle with someone over Metropolis, and I think that someone is Brainiac. I'm gonna go through all the interesting details that are in this one photo alone and break down what we generally know about this James Gunn Superman film that is coming July 11, 2025. Okay, so James Gunn posted this photo to his personal Instagram account, and he said in the caption that it was shot entirely in camera by Jess Miglio. Entirely in camera, he said, which is crazy because obviously there's a giant laser battle in the background. How could this be possible? Well, James Gunn was obviously anticipating people just looking at David Corenswet in the suit and just thinking, oh, it looks fake, because that is just the immediate snap reaction everyone who lives on social media these days has when images just look like anything. And I get it because, you know, we've all been burned too many times. We live permanently in the uncanny valley. We can't trust anything on social media. And also, especially with this film, there's a very vocal contingent of people who have formed their entire online identities around just hating this movie and anything about James Gunn. Thanks to War Thunder for sponsoring this video. Sometimes at the end of your day, there's nothing more satisfying than popping on a video game and destroying stuff. And War Thunder has been my go-to game for a while now. War Thunder is the most comprehensive vehicle combat game ever made, and it's currently free on PC and console. In War Thunder, you're in command of over 2,500 tanks, planes, helicopters, and ships, ranging from biplanes and armored cars of the 1920s to the fighter jets and main battle tanks of today from 10 different nations. War Thunder offers 3 distinct modes for what mood you're in. Arcade has really satisfying fast-paced matches with enhanced vehicle performance and simplified physics, while Simulator mode ditches all guardrails for the ultimate challenge. And then there's Realistic mode, which strikes a balance between intensity and authenticity. All 3 let you immerse yourself fully with incredibly detailed vehicles, realistic graphics, and authentic sound effects. Tanks don't just blow up. Every vehicle is intricately modeled down to its individual components, like engines, fuel tanks, and weapons, plus different types of armor, shells, and missiles. Play War Thunder now and join over 70 million players in epic PvP battles for free on PC, PlayStation, or Xbox. Use my link in the pinned comment or video description to sign up. New players and those who haven't played in 6 months will also receive a massive bonus pack on PC or consoles that includes multiple premium vehicles, the exclusive vehicle decorator Eagle of Valor, 100,000 silver lions, and 7 days of premium account. Available for a limited time only, so don't miss it. But I actually think James Gunn said this intentionally about what's in the background over Metropolis. It's not just a joke. I think they used an LED video screen wall behind the window, because notice the light reflecting off the window beam, reflecting off the floor, off everything else in this apartment. It looks pretty authentic, and it's kind of hard to make the light blend with the paint surface like that. I think James Gunn is signaling to us that the production went to great lengths to shoot this movie without any kind of green screen. Like, the light's going to reflect off of the characters' faces in a way that makes us feel like we're in the middle of this battle. But let's talk about the suit. We've seen the logo before in other social media releases, and attendees at CinemaCon in Vegas got a similar look at the suit. It's just a very simple S, right? It's in many ways a throwback suit, and that comes down to the fact that he is wearing trunks. He's got the underoos, as well as, if you look very closely in the shadows there, he is wearing a belt. Now, if we look at the city of Metropolis behind him, there are some visible landmarks. Like, what stand out immediately to me are Luthor Towers. And I assume it's Luthor Towers because I just remember as a kid reading the comics and always just losing my mind over the architectural design of Lex Towers. It's just like the giant L back to back with another L, and they're joined in the middle by the bridge. So I'm pretty sure that's LexCorp's towers there. But beneath it to the right, doesn't that look like the globe of the Daily Planet? And it's just interesting that these two are right next to each other, and that he is like towering over this media organization, and they always have to like look at him and be like, ugh, this guy. Okay, so James Gunn hasn't told us much about the story of this film yet, but he has singled out a couple comic issues and storylines that are at least inspiring his take on the story. He said that it would take specific inspiration from All-Star Superman from 2005 to 2008. That was Grant Morrison and Frank Quitely's run. He also singled out the animated Superman shorts from Fleischer Studios from 1941 to 1943. You've probably seen some of those shorts going around on social media where it just looks incredible. It holds up, and it's just because these animators really took so so much time with each cell. He also singled out Superman Birthright from 2003. That was the limited series by Mark Waid and Lionel Francis Yu and Jerry Allen Guillen. But perhaps most important to this image, the 2008 Brainiac storyline from Jeff Johns and Gary Frank. But he also singled out some comics like Superman Ending Battle from 2002, also by Jeff Johns and Joe Casey and Joe Kelly and Mark Schultz, and Superman for All Seasons, that was a 1998 limited series by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale, and Elseworlds limited series Kingdom Come by Waid and Alex Ross. I feel like Kingdom Come always comes up in conversation, right? So how does this connect with this battle that's happening over Metropolis in the sky? Let's talk about this Brainiac storyline. This is Action Comics 866 to 870 from 2008. Basically, Superman and Supergirl realize that every version of Brainiac that Superman has fought over the years has just been one of his probes. We learn a lot more about Brainiac in this storyline, and Superman realizes that Brainiac, who is just one of the biggest villains since 1958, is just trying to consume as much knowledge he can about the universe. Superman realizes that Brainiac has been going solar system to solar system and bottling these cities by shrinking them down, and then he fires these like solar aggressive missiles at their suns to blow up their solar systems, and then he moves on. And this includes the Kryptonian capital city of Kandor. So during this run, Brainiac successfully does this to Metropolis, and then Superman ends up on his ship. It talks to his uncle Zor-El, that's Kara Zor-El's father, who is shrunken down inside the city of Kandor. I won't go through everything that happens in the storyline, but basically it ends with Brainiac using his ability to read minds, targeting where the Kents live on the farm, and he blows up the farm, but Jonathan and Martha are not killed, but Jonathan does die of a heart attack, and that's where this storyline ends. So just breaking down the cast here, of course, we got David Corenswet as Clark Kent, Superman. I've done a lot of videos in the past how by casting David Corenswet, James Gunn is trying to do the Christopher Reeve direction. Both of them are like young American actors who seem to capture the optimistic Boy Scout spirit of the character. Rachel Brosnahan is playing Lois Lane. Nicholas Hoult is playing Lex Luthor. Terrence Rosemore is playing his lackey Otis. Skylar Gisondo is playing Jimmy Olsen, and Wendell Pierce is playing Perry White. Very recently, Pruitt Taylor Vince has been cast as Jonathan Kent, and Neva Howell is playing Martha Kent. James Gunn has also said there's going to be like other superheroes that are already established in this new DCU, and that includes Isabella Merced as Hawkgirl, Eddie Gathegi as Mr. Terrific, Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner Green Lantern, Anthony Kerrigan as Rex Mason aka Metamorpho, Maria Gabriela as the Engineer. It also sounds like James Gunn's brother Sean Gunn, who appears in all of his movies, might show up as the businessman Maxwell Lord, who is played by Pedro Pascal in Wonder Woman 84. And then Kara Zor-El will be played by Millie Alcock in this DCU. This is a performer who played the younger version of Rhaenyra in House of the Dragon. It's not known yet if Supergirl's going to be in this movie or just in her own spinoff, but it would just be weird to announce an actor playing a role before a movie even existed. So that's why I just think that Millie Alcock's going to be in this movie as Supergirl, especially with the Brainiac storyline. I mean, there's just something about this photo that I think captures the spirit that James Gunn wants to go for in this film of just Kal-El putting on his boots. Seems pretty calm, but also just really tired. Like his suit is scorched. He went from one battle to this one. He doesn't have time to clean up. He's a weary Superman who has fought a ton of different DC villains up until this point, and this is just like a new threat that he's facing. And I know I keep obsessing over the LexCorp towers here, but the fact that they are lit up so perfectly, almost like a beacon in this attack with Brainiac, just makes me think like Lex might have formed some kind of alliance with Brainiac. Like if it is going to be a Brainiac story, you have to have a reason for Lex Luthor, played by Nicholas Hoult, to be in this movie. And what I like about Lex is that he's not afraid to make a deal with some other villain if it benefits him in some way. What are your thoughts on this photo? This movie, again, is coming July 11th, 2025. It's going to be the same month as Marvel Studios' Fantastic Four film, which is really interesting. I feel like both movies are going for similar vibes, that they're taking what are probably the flagship franchises of their respective comic book universes and trying to tell like a throwback, retro-futurist, optimistic story with each of these that face some kind of like cosmic threat, but do so with a smile on their face. So it's just going to be an interesting month for comic book movies. Shout out to War Thunder again for sponsoring today's video. Make sure to check out War Thunder now for free on PC, PlayStation, or Xbox, and use my link in the pinned comment or video description to register. Those of you who are new or haven't played for 6 months will also receive a massive bonus pack across all platforms, including multiple premium vehicles, in-game currency, and more. Comment down below with your thoughts on this. Follow me at Erik Voss. Subscribe to all 3 channels in the New Rockstars network for breakdowns and news coverage of everything you love. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.